Welcome back to Keep Expecting Miracles. I am Elissa,
I'm Jessica.
and we're here today with another episode 6
Hmm.
of our new season. I can't believe we're already 6 episodes in. What is going on?
Right? Time is passing.
Time is passing. I always say that time moves no matter what you're doing, so you might as well do what the hell you want to do.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And
Yep.
for us, that is making this podcast.
Hmm.
Yeah, we are recording today. We're doing a pod day, so we've already recorded one episode. So we can just do a quick catch up. Um, we record on the weekends now, which is to me is so much better and so much more
Yeah.
relaxed.
Mm.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I uh I feel like I was more relaxed when we recorded on the weekdays because I just was managing my own time, didn't have to clock in nowhere, and kids were at school. And now with the weekends, it is just a time for decompressing, I guess. I feel like I'm in a busier part of my life.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm glad that that we can still do it because I
yeah,
was worried. I was worried. I'm like, dang, I got to go back to work. Um, what is this going to look like?
yeah,
How are we going to do this?
yeah,
I
yeah.
really had 8 years as a stay at home slash work from home mom lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like in the blink of an eye, it changed.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy with the change. I am. But there are some things that I miss about it. There are, but I'm happy that we still get to connect in this way and still, do reach our goals in this way, do what we said we were going to do, and just be a part of the podcast. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I, I,
mm,
I hear you. We were for a few weeks, which is why our hiatus was it wasn't a break, it was actual hiatus because we were trying to figure out like how is this gonna work. And for me, I did not want it. I didn't want to be so rigid with this has to be done. Like when are we gonna? I wanted just things to just play out, and I wanted time to kind of tell us what needed to happen. And we've always said that we, are very flexible with this podcast and with this show and with ourselves. And so we are able to do it how we want to do it. And so that's why I feel like it's just better for me on the weekends because it's just more relaxed. Like I don't have, um, I don't know. For
you
some
don't have
reason,
to
I'm
pick
just more
nobody up
relaxed.
from
I don't
school.
know why I associate the weekends with more like my schedule still looks the same. Like my kids
Well, no,
still.
you don't have to pick up. You don't have to pick Alina up from school. And
Yeah,
that's the thing too that when we were doing it on the weekdays, we had to make sure, okay, we got to do it this time, got to do it that time. That means we have to start here because by this time we got to be in the car, we got to do this. Like,
yeah,
I remember
yeah,
us recording, and then sometimes the kids would walk my kids would walk in through the door, and I'm like, oh, shh.
yeah,
I'm like, okay, quiet, like we
yeah,
still going.
yeah,
So
yeah,
in that sense, yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. I know, I know, I know. But I know I did not expect for you to not be working from home anymore. Like
Mhm.
that is, when transitions happen, even like as a friend, it you still expect to have your friend in the way that has been for that time period, like it always was. And so when that's
Mhm.
not like when that doesn't happen anymore, like I can just call you when I drop a leader off from school and it's like 9 a.m. I can't just call you anymore because you're at work. I'm like, oh yeah, Jessica's at work. But
Girl, I
thank
remember when it
God,
was
thank
flipped,
you.
when you was going into work pregnant and I was the one at home, and I was like, oh. Yeah, she
Oh
was working.
yeah, I know. I was. I know. Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
Going into work pregnant. Really? All the way up until week 36, 37.
Mm,
Whew,
mm,
nah, I'm not living that life no more. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. But yeah, I
mm.
mean, we knew that we kept saying that our lives are gonna be different. It's just, I mean, and that we have kids at different ages too. So naturally, you're gonna be doing things. I'm not gonna be doing them. Then I'm gonna like I'm about to enter into the realm of like kids activities, which I say I do not want to do. Like I'm very against it. And Jessica's now
Mhm.
out of it.
For
So, ooh.
now,
Hmm?
because because little one says that she likes cheerleading and may want to go back to cheerleading, and that she likes basketball and may want to do basketball. So I don't know. We'll see what that looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see. But yes, the whole being transporter for your child for after school activities and weekend activities is real.
Right. I
And it's a
know.
whole job.
Right. But we
Takes
are
time.
excited to talk about this topic. I just realized I should have wore the color that Jessica's wearing, because we're talking about our cycles, our blood.
You're wearing the color that we should wear on our heads when we are, bleeding.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, still a good color. Purity and then the blood.
Yes, red to represent the blood. Yeah, we
Hmm.
wanted to talk specifically about menstruation today. We haven't had a whole podcast dedicated to it, and we are women that honor our blood and have developed a new relationship with it and speaking about it in a more positive way. Um, so we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we haven't even had a podcast about it. Like we talk about it in different segments in different
Yeah,
ways, but it's
yeah.
actually having a conversation about it and highlighting it. This is the
Hmm.
first. So I'm excited. I'm
Hmm.
excited.
Yeah, me too. And it's not, I mean, if it still feels, I wouldn't say necessarily weird to talk about it. Um, you know what? I'm gonna change that. Yes, it does. It feels weird to talk about it in a positive light. Because anytime we talk about our cycles, it's always, yeah, man, my cycle came on and like, dang it, there's always pain in our voices associated with it, and how much of an inconvenience it has caused us, and the ways almost that it's ruining our lives. If only I weren't born a woman. And I've said that before, spoken to other people who have said that before, or it's just the hormone, like blaming the blood, blaming our cycles for uh giving us I guess negative experiences in life. So
Well, I would say that's all by design.
mhm.
All of that is by design. Like for us to have the attitudes that we've had because we have been programmed to believe that our blood is bad,
Yeah,
that our blood is negative, that it's a hindrance, that it is a burden. Um or it's something that can cause us to have children unwantingly. That's so many people say when they first get their period. The main point of the conversation is, "Oh, you can have kids now," and
yeah,
really, it should be something that is honored. It should be something that is celebrated. It should be something that is um, s- taken very seriously and something that we should have ritual around.
yeah,
Um, I mean, I started reclaiming it years and years ago when I was healing my fibroids. Just you know, me speaking about it openly in my home allowed me to develop more of a positive attitude towards it. I specifically remembering a shift in my mindset. Like even before I had children, it would just be, oh, I have my period. Like, and there was no conversation, no nothing. Now I'm like, yeah, I have my period. I'm bleeding right now, and blah 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 blah. Like I am very open with my children, with my husband. Like this is not a secret. This is not a shame.
Mhm.
This is not a burden. I'm going to talk about it because it's normal and it's a way of life, and I'm not going to hide it. Just the simple
Mhm.
fact that I felt the need to hide it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So that
Like a
helped
lot
me
of us
speak
do.
about it and feel more positively about it.
Hmm. I started to change the way I talk about it too, especially with having a teenage son, where he knows when mom is on her cycle or period or menstrual. Like I use all the different words. And um, at our old house when we were, 'cause, right now he's not living with me full time, and so before when he was, um, it would be, oh, mom's on her period. And so she's wearing her very comfortable outfits and she's going to rest. And I would say, yep, it's time for me to rest. Hey guys, I'm on my period. It's time for me to rest. This is what I need to eat. This is what we're having for dinner. This is, what we're doing. And at this time. And it was not something that I ever really hid from, like, definitely didn't hide it from my daughter,
Mhm.
from Justice, but I did not really talk about it openly with Jaden until it was like after we went to Costa Rica. And once I really, once we had started having conversations about it and started
Mhm.
really understanding the deeper truth
Mhm.
behind it,
Mhm.
then I'm like, oh, like I am as pompous, or as whatever this may sound like, I am to be catered to during that time.
Mhm.
I am to be at ease.
Mhm.
I am to relax.
Mhm.
And those around me need to make the matriarch of our home, which is me,
Mhm.
very comfortable at this time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's what happened. It ended up being like that. It's, you know, um, was great. And it's crazy to see how my periods are reflecting the time that I'm in now.
Mhm.
Like you told me that it's a marker for your health, and I do believe that it's not just for physical health but also mental. And
Mhm.
it changes with, in ways that we don't even notice,
Mhm.
until it comes, and it's like, oh, this is what I'm seeing about myself right now. It's giving us signals.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it starts with your experience of your period, through the eyes of your mom, the experience of your mom,
Hmm.
how she dealt with her period. Then when you got your first bleed, your menarche, is how it was handled. How it was talked about, what language was used, what actually happened. I don't feel like I had a specifically negative experience. It was just like, okay, well, you're a woman now, and this is what you use, how you clean yourself. These are the clothes that you wear. Um in terms of like underwear and um shorts. Um for some reason my mom and my aunt, they like to wear like the biker shorts. So I've always, that was what was given to me when I was 12, when I first had my period. So I love wearing biker shorts for some reason. Um I know it's so crazy because it just makes you feel more supported. Like it
Oh
holds
yeah,
you
I wear them
in.
too. That's why I'm
Yes.
laughing.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah.
um like this is how you use it was like, okay, these are the sanitary napkins, these are the products, and this is how you use it. But it wasn't anything other than that. I do know
Yeah.
my mom called all of her friends and family members, but it
Oh.
wasn't like it wasn't specifically ritualized or celebrated, or
Mm.
was just like, okay. And then for some reason, out of nowhere, maybe like 2 years after that, I started getting really bad cramps, like to the
Mhm.
point where I'd be calling my mom to come and pick me up from school.
Mhm.
Or like I remember one time had so much pain, like I thought I was gonna pass out. Like
Mm.
I was with
How
my
old were you?
dad in the grocery store, and I was like, I can't, I'm gonna pass out. And I literally, my dad was like, oh my gosh, you are gonna pass out, because it just the pain,
Yeah, the pain's
the the
intense.
yeah, the pain. And
How old were you around that time?
it was definitely, I got my period when I was in 6th grade, so that was
Mm.
7th grade, 7th and 8th grade that I had really bad. It's the bad cramps started to happen probably in 7th grade. Like I remember feeling crampy like in 6th grade too, but it wasn't like severe. Um, and I just kept thinking like, this can't be, like I cannot go through this my entire life. And my mom just be like, yeah, this is how it is. Like that's what
Mm.
it is. And so now for me to learn, in my late 20s, early 30s, that it's not normal to have that pain. It's
Mhm.
not normal to be almost passing out from your period. It's just like, no, like, can't you? That was a red flag, literally a red flag. Like,
Yeah.
she's not getting the nutrients that she needs. She's not getting the vitamins that she needs. She needs to be eating different foods. She
Mhm.
needs to be including different, vegetables, and all the things that we know about our bodies when we have our cycle and when we are bleeding, like nourishing foods, warm foods, green leafy vegetables. We grew up on McDonald's. Yes, my mom and dad, they did cook us home cooked meals, but let's just be honest. We're 90s McDonald's,
Mhm.
Taco Bell, Burger King children. Hello.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just learning that now is just like, wow, that's why I had bad periods.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But
Wow. That's I for me, the when I first started mine, my leg was broken. I had a cast up to my thigh. I was laying in my bed. My
what?
mom, she would have to come in and bathe me, and I was I was same 6th grade. I missed the last couple months of school in 6th grade because of my broken leg.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and she came in to change me. She looked at my underwear and she said, "I think you have your period." And I looked at her. I said, "What? No, I don't. No, I didn't, Mom. That's not what that is. I don't know what that is, but it's not that." That was literally my reaction. I'm like, "Me? That's a lie. Can't be." But it was truth. I did, and I didn't feel anything. And I was like, "Oh, I thought it was supposed to hurt. Like, I'm good. Like, okay, this is fine."
Yep.
Um,
Because the first
we
one
didn't
doesn't
talk
hurt.
about it. Yeah, we didn't talk about it other than here are your pads, and that's it. And it did take like I don't remember the experience after that. All I do right now, all I can recall is then being in high school and we was in class together, you and me, had Mr. Jackson geometry. Every time geometry came around once a month, I was calling. I got to go to the nurse. Oh, our school, for whatever reason, our high school didn't have a nurse.
So
Our
weird.
high school did not have a nurse. I'm like, if I could have just gotten more pads and painkillers, I would have been fine. I could have lasted the whole school day. But my dad would have to come and pick me up. And I was, um, go home from school with bloody clothes sometimes.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to have my period. I was embarrassed to be in the pain that I was in. I could barely sit down and do anything whenever, like, it was like the first couple of days. So, and then I would go home and I would just be on the toilet, just in the bathroom.
Mhm.
And then I would lay down, take pills, go to sleep. And it was just always a time where, like, what did I do to deserve this?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it was it was just very painful.
Just like
But I didn't have a
despair.
solution.
Right, right. It's almost like it's so bad that you're just in despair. Like this cannot be my life.
Mhm.
This
Hence the
cannot be my
why am I
life.
a woman? Why can't I just be a man?
Right.
Why don't they have to go through this?
Right. Well, so my mom, she would make it worse. She bless her heart. She's not the most comforting person. She would be like, well, just wait until you have to take care of kids. Just wait until you have to go to work. This is what it is. You just gotta deal with it. Just wait until you have to get up every day and clean your house and cook and do all the things with your period. This is how it is. And I used to just be like, there's no way. There's no way. And so I had that in my
Oh
mind
my
for so
gosh.
long, for so long. So I'm like, no wonder I cured myself of fibroids. No wonder I started to figure out like how to have a more healthy relationship with my period because I literally believed that I would not be able to function
Yeah.
with that type of cycle.
My
Debilitating in the
goodness.
bed. I would be rolling around violently on my floor
Of
sometimes, like
course.
crying in the fetal position. I remember being in college, like in the fetal position sometimes, like just crying and crying and
Mm-mm.
crying, like, no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. Thank God. I think social media, Facebook, Instagram, when people actually started to be like, period's not supposed to hurt. You're not supposed to bleed like that. And I used to be like,
Mhm.
whoa. And just having people like my mom has had a hysterectomy from fibroids and knowing so many people that have had hysterectomies because they've had fibroids, I'm like, that's not gonna be me. That's not gonna be
Mm-mm.
me. That's not gonna be me. And I mean, like you said, going to Costa Rica, I went to Costa Rica to heal fibroid, to heal the
Mm.
fibroid that I had. Like that was the goal. That's what I
Mhm.
set out to do. I set it on the trip, before the trip, after the trip. That was the main reason why I was there. And so naturally, obviously that did happen, thank you God, but naturally all the other things started to come out. Like I, joined a women's red tent circle. I got
Mhm.
more educated around it. Me and you started to talk about it more because you obviously went on the trip and developed another type of relationship with it. And it was this just magical opening of wow, we have been programmed to believe that this is something that is bad.
Mm.
We've, as women, we've been demonized. We have been, you know, called witches. We have been called, I'm not us
Mhm.
specifically, but
Yeah.
throughout history, we've
Yeah. Yeah.
been, suppressed. That all contributes to the negative thinking that we've had around having our menstruation.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. in in high school, I could see why I would be called a witch here because in high school, when I learned, well, your physical activity is a direct reflection to how heavy your flow is, and I associated flow with pain. So I said, oh, I can cure that. And I would run a mile every day before school. So my periods went from debilitating, painful, having to go home from school to lasting maybe 3 to 4 days each month and being
Wow.
very light because I lessened the amount of food that I was eating. I changed the type of food that I was eating.
Hmm.
I wasn't eating like what my family was eating. And then um, I would run and I noticed, oh, I'm good now. Like
Yeah.
I altered my body
Yeah.
with my own practices. Um, but and that's where I know, like even right now, like the change that I've had in my cycle is because of my. I experienced during that moment of change over the past few months, huge lack of physical activity.
Hmm.
So for me, both are related. But then also, I got into birth control pills as my solution for um, then, you know, making sure that it stayed light and that my
Mhm.
body stayed normal.
Mhm.
But then came off. When did I come off the birth control pills? After Costa Rica, I think.
Probably,
Right.
like, yeah, I don't know what
I
year,
think it was
but
like right. It was recent, within the last few years,
yeah, the
and I was
last 2,
afraid.
3 years. Mhm.
Yeah, I was afraid. I was like, I can't. I don't want to go back to periods like that, and I didn't. I
Mhm.
didn't. But I remember I went to the hospital when I experienced heartbreak. My heartbreak was physical, and I went to the hospital because I was like, my heart is hurting, and they were like, well, your heart's normal. How long have you been on birth control pills? The doctor was. I told him how long had it been. I think it was like 15 years at the time. 15 years. And the doctor was like, you cannot do that. You need to get off of them. It's He said your heart is fine now, but it's not going to continue being okay. I was like,
Wow.
oh, okay. So
Are
let me
you
figure this out.
serious?
So that's when, when we started talking about this stuff and diving into, okay, well, how do I have a better relationship with this? Like, a lot of what you were discovering was my answer onto, like, what can I do to help myself here now?
Yeah.
And this is not a curse. This is actually our gift.
Yes.
What is it that makes it our gift now, though? You know? And
Yeah.
now at work, moving on to this part, I'm around all of these older women where I'm
Mm.
like one of the youngest still. But they're like, oh, menopause, it's Peri's here for me now.
Mm-mm.
And you recently found out that our cycle is not, we're not supposed to be hitting menopause yet,
No.
not in our 40s and 50s.
No. No. It's been we've it's by design. The chemicals all around us in our food and our medications and the air and any and everything. The lifestyle that we live has contributed to women going into menopause earlier and earlier, and that is by design. The powers that be, patriarchy, people that push the agenda, want women to be suppressed. They do not
Mhm,
want us to know the power that our blood holds. They do not want us to have the gifts that we have because of the bleeding. They do not want us to continue to bear children. Um, Sylvia told me, she was like, people originally stopped bleeding when they were 80, not 40, not
mhm.
50. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't know if it's because of my age range, but Instagram is showing me so many content creators, so many people talking about perimenopause,
Mine
perimenopause,
too.
perimenopause. And I just recently watched a podcast, Voices of Iwa. They were talking about, they had the author of The Black Girl's Guide to Menopause. And I want to read that book because she talks about, you know, the relationship that you have with your blood and how it is something that should be honored, and it is something that is powerful, and it is something that allows us to see the picture of our health for that month, for the last 3 months. It gives us a picture, and so when that goes away, because that's where she's at in her life, but when that goes away, that power now turns inward.
Mm,
You have to you're now yielding the power of your blood in a different way because it's no longer coming out.
mm,
But that made me think, like, so she is reclaiming, she is positively speaking about it, she is educating women, and she is allowing people to have a more, a different viewpoint. But for me, I'm still not accepting that, being 36 years old, I now within the next 4 years need to be expected to go into menopause. That's not. I'm like, I didn't want to have a hysterectomy, and I'm not. I will be bleeding well into my 70s. I don't know. I wish that my grandma remembered when she last got her last period, because my grandma was 100
mhm.
years old, but I guarantee you it was not when she was 40. I
Yeah, wow.
I know. I can just look at my grandma and tell that she probably was bleeding for a very long time.
Yeah, and she was a very holistic person, you've said, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that would be good for you to know.
Yes, today in the car, Alina was like, "Mom, I want to be 100." I was like,
Aw.
"Oh, you want to be 100 like Grammy Miller?" She was like, "Yeah, like you. You're gonna be 100 too, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
be 100." She's like, "We're all gonna be 100."
So cute. Yes, yes,
I
yes.
know, I know, I know, but it is our life force, and any for anybody that's listening that has not reclaimed that relationship and is having a difficult time or does feel a weight when it is your time to bleed, I would encourage you to start reading books. The Period Code is a good book that talks about cycles. There's so many books on the blood mysteries, on ancient ways of being, communing with your blood, how women, we know that like women that breathe together bleed together. Like our cycles link up. And that is an
Mhm.
ancient indigenous thing of people. That's a normal physiologic thing that happens with women, and that's for a reason. That happens for a
Mhm.
specific intentional reason. That was God made us that way before, so that we could have a divine connection with Him. And we're going to talk more about that during our witchy shit segment. But do research, start to have new language. Even just by the clothes that you wear. I remember somebody that did in Tampa that did my eyebrows. She's an Indian lady. They even have different practices. She said that like when she bleeds, it's similar to the Jewish people. When she bleeds, she's not allowed to cook. She can't touch anything in the house. Because
Mm.
I think this is for a negative reason, but they're seen as
Okay.
unclean.
Yeah.
So, but she takes advantage of it. She was just like, I don't cook, I don't clean. I go up into, when I come home from work, I go straight up into my room. I don't even enter the kitchen. I lay down, and my husband
Wow.
and my son serve me my food. She was like, I don't care if it's seen that, however it was supposed to see. She's like literally using it to her advantage. She was like, yeah, I don't do anything. I don't lift a finger.
Oh
And I
my
don't care
gosh.
that my religion believes that we're unclean, because I look at it as my rest. It's my break.
Yes. Yes. As it should be. That is too funny. But that's
I
so
don't-
good.
mm,
When we were my mom and I, we were visiting New York. We were passing through the area with the it's like the Jewish area. And she was like, when these women, when they're on their periods, they're not allowed to be around the men. They have to get secluded in another home all by themselves. And I was like, what? That's not right. That's not, so we just in the car talking about that's not right. And now I was like, wait, I I would be okay with that. 'Cause don't bother me. I can take a vacation
thank
for
you.
5 to 7 days, please. May last maybe 10, I mean, hey.
Thank
Like,
you.
I can I would be okay with this.
Right.
So
Right.
so I'm like, it is not, I think it is probably the same thing, like how that lady said, it's unclean, whatever. Um, but I think that there's a grander idea there, like
Mhm.
why that started in the first place.
Mhm.
It actually does help us versus what they thinking, you know,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
is not okay.
Yeah, I remember we went to Costa Rica, and the Riri people, the indigenous people of the where we were at, Puerto Viejo, they don't allow the women to prepare the cacao when they're bleeding.
Oh, I don't remember
And
that.
I can't remember specifically the reason, but I feel like it has something to do with because they know how powerful the women are, and it could change. It
I
changes.
do remember that.
It changes because they believe that their blood is cacao, like
Yeah,
their blood
yeah,
is the chocolate.
yeah. I think we were also taken aback by that. I remember registering the reactions of our fellow retreat mates versus what he actually said afterward. I don't remember if he said the reason.
He didn't say the reason, and I think the thing is that because these practices are so ancient and so sacred, unless you know, you just not gonna understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
That's, you're not gonna have any understanding. And now that we are developing our understanding even more,
Mhm.
we are very powerful people anyways. And
Mhm.
when we bleed, the closeness to divinity is there.
Mhm.
We are open to the intuition, to the messages. The veil is thin.
And
um
it's taken time to feel that because me knowing that, and then also then having now to be at work while I'm on it, I'm
mhm.
like, like, what is my life?
Well, you
But
can, what you need to do is, I do know one of the things that the people in, the native people do, like in the Arizona area, like Mexico area, they wear their, I forgot what it's called, the rebozo. It's rebozo like for pregnant people, but they wear sashes. They cover their womb
mhm,
with,
mhm,
specifically when they're bleeding, like, or in ceremony, or like when I went to Bali, you have to wear a sarong. Like, women have to wear sarongs. Like, it seems like all indigenous people know that women have to be covered in that area.
mhm.
So you should start wearing some type of sash, like a red
Apron,
sash, something underneath your
teacher apron.
clothes.
Mhm.
Yeah, something, just to cover you, just to keep that area protected and covered, and so it's not open. Because I mean, our wombs are portals, and that portal is
Yeah.
open when you're bleeding. So,
That's one thing that I had started doing because I forgot where I had heard it from. I don't know if it was you or I was watching something else, um, that basically said that, our feet need to be covered at the time. Our feet need to stay warm. And then also our abdominal area needs to stay warm as well. And so I was shown what the wrap looks like. And so I started just taking my headscarves, wrapping it around me every time I would bleed.
hmm
And so Justice, she always knew. Anytime I have a scarf wrapped around my waist, she's like, "Are you on your period?"
hmm hmm
So she associates it with that because she did ask me. She's like, "Why are you doing that?" But it's up to me to teach her
hmm
all that stuff. But she doesn't feel this way now. But when she was much younger, like around Alina's age, she just couldn't wait. She's like, "I can't wait till I'm on my period.
hmm
I can't wait till I get that too." Which is it's good because I had never said that
yeah,
as a child.
yeah.
But it's also because she's invasive and would just walk into the bathroom without knocking when I'm using
I
it.
know. I know. Same thing with Alina. Oh my goodness, Alina, she I'm not never mind. I'm not even gonna say that. But yeah, these children, they know. They know. They have their ways of knowing. It's so funny.
They do.
Funny. It's funny, but yeah, I cannot wait. Jessica and I always talk about, like, when the girls have their first bleed, their menarche, we're gonna have a red tent ceremony. We're gonna have a party. We're gonna have a celebration. We're gonna have something to signify the beginning of the initiation. It's an
Yeah, it is
initiation.
an initiation. Mhm.
Um, and Sabonfu Somé talks about it. I'm sure you read about it in her book, like the rituals of womanhood, and how you have to have a ritual for these type of initiations, how you have to signify the ending of something. Because
Mhm.
the author of that book, about menopause, she says that you should have a ritual for, in having menopause. You're being initiated into the crone, your wisdom stage of life. So that's another portal that you're passing through as a woman that does not bleed. Like, so I can't wait for our daughter's red tent parties, our ceremonies.
Mhm.
It's gonna be good. But I probably did mention it when you're talking about, because that's Chinese, to keeping your womb warm and your feet covered, because they believe that your life force leaves you in certain ways. And so you have to keep your feet covered. And but it's not just Chinese, it's indigenous too, Mayan, because my doula told me the same thing, that you have to keep this after birth. When you have a baby, the first 40 days, you have to keep your womb covered, because they believe that the if it gets cold, like if you have like a cold wind that comes up to it, you can have problems in your womb. Like your womb has
Mhm.
to stay warm.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why didn't I
Hmm.
listen to that lady?
Yeah. I noticed, I mean, when I do have something wrapped around it, it makes me feel very good. And that's
Yes.
another reason why the bike shorts feel good. Not only
Ye-
because it's hugging in all the right places around the hip area and pelvis, but it's also, holding the belly
Yes.
and, providing that warmth. That the depends on what it's made of too,
Yes.
whether it's cotton or it's always best to go with cotton.
Yes.
Mine are not cotton right now, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
used to have cotton as a kid. Um, that always it just feels like you're being supported. It's similar to that feeling when you have a pregnant belly and someone lifts up the belly and you're just like, I can breathe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it feels
Exactly.
good.
Yeah. It's more support. But yeah,
Hmm.
these conversations have to continue to happen, and it's something that should be talked about, should be celebrated, should be accepted, you know, a part of being open about our spirituality and ushering in this new world. This is going to be a part of it. So,
Yeah, yeah, and
this is a
we
part
we
of it.
have to let ourselves rest in that time if we really want to utilize that time as being the divine portals that we are.
Mhm.
We have to rest.
Mhm.
And I told you that I'm like, okay, well, now that I'm back at work, this recently was my second time having a cycle. No, actually, third time having a cycle while being back at work. And it's very different with also not being on birth control, because the last time I was a teacher, I was just on birth control or pregnant.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, well, how do I build ritual around this? How do I make this ritualistic? And one of the ways that I answered my own question after I had said that to you. One of the a couple of the things that I'm doing is not track it. Go back to tracking it because I stopped tracking it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to tracking it now, and that way I can have my foods prepared, my sweet potatoes, my plantains, my having all of the different foods that I like to eat, the nutrient rich foods,
Mhm.
or dense foods. I would say caloric density is what I have to go after,
Mhm.
because I noticed this time around I was real hungry because I told you I've been eating salads and just not,
Mhm.
not eating much calorie rich foods now.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was like, I got real hungry and I was like, oh my gosh. Um, so preparing that ahead of time so that all I have to do is heat it up. Especially as a single person, not having somebody to take care of me
Mhm.
at home, or
Mhm.
not even my son. So it's like a brand new lifestyle for me. So I
Mhm.
mean, it really was. I was really like, what do I do now? How do I do this?
Yeah.
Um, just but making sure my food is prepared and having a plan for that, and then also getting into bed early, early, very early,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just allowing myself to relax. So it takes more preparation now than it did before,
Yeah.
but I can still do it. And also, I told you I was going to take that day off once a month.
Yeah, you should.
Hmm.
You should. That's a good idea. You need to. Yeah. For me, I think I need to start um wrapping my womb, um being more intentional about what I'm eating during that time. Um I mean, I always have a soup. I love a good warm soup. But like you said, the nutrient rich foods I think is necessary. And I have my clothes rituals that I will not share. I have my clothes rituals that still continue to do with myself and my, my prayer time. Um, but yeah, I think just continuing to positively speak about it and to not, I'm not accepting perimenopause. I'm not accepting the negativity around menopause. I am denouncing that and rebuking that. Um, and it's not, I want to keep my blood. I want to have this picture of my health. I want to have this
Mhm.
gift for as
Mhm.
long as possible. Um, and just to educating more, but exactly what we're doing now is talking about it openly and not being a shame or not having it be. It's not a taboo thing.
Right.
It's not a taboo thing.
Right.
It's a
And
real
look, I mean, a real deal self-criticism. If we can't continue to hide ourselves. If we
right.
continue to hide ourselves or to criticize ourselves and think something is wrong with us legitimately, scientifically,
Yeah.
self-criticism drops different some sort of deposits into our blood. Our blood does something and
Right.
it can end up making us physically sick.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
we have to go through forgiving myself of the past and what I thought before
Mhm.
and the way that I treated myself before and moving forward with I completely embrace who I am and I'm not going to hide any of this stuff that's normal with being a woman
Mhm. Mhm.
at all.
Mhm. Well, and we could this could be a 2-hour episode on this alone, just because it's so much, so much. So we're gonna move on to the next segment, but it's not only physical; it's spiritual. If you do have issues, if you do have fibroids, endometriosis, um, PCOS, we were talking about physical eating, physical activity, obviously our speech, what we put out there, but these are ancestral um patterns, cycles, spiritual pattern cycles. It has something to do with sexuality, who you're laying with, who they're laying with. Like, it's all intertwined. And so you just journal, ask yourself questions. It also has to do with the trauma, sexual trauma that you possibly could have been through in your life, or your ancestors.
Mhm.
That is carried down, that is passed down, which was my case. It was my fibroids were ancestral. So it's explore, be curious, look things up. Like I said, look up different books, read, educate yourself, listen to different podcasts. There's so many podcasts on this cycle syncing. There's just so many different avenues that you could go through when you're talking about this stuff. So
Yeah, and to say the author's names again, Sabone Fuso May,
yes,
right? She provides I mean, I have no words for the gems that she just puts in her books. And as well, Queen Afua also
yes,
helped me very much
yes,
with how to go about this time, how
yes.
to honor thyself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Queen of Fu is top notch. She
Hmm.
is top notch with this. I mean, if you just listening to that book and you do even doing two things, you'll be changed. Even
Mm.
doing two things of what she says is, yeah, yeah. But yeah, we want to move on to our manifestation segments.
Yeah. So I'm currently on my cycle. Okay. And I was just thinking in my classroom this week, I was like, man, I don't have enough books for these kids to read. Like I have maybe like two or three of them, but I'm used to having a whole bunch. But when I left the career, I gave away all my books. Kept a few for the kids, but my kids, but gave away a lot of them. And so you know how this whole thing goes. You ask for something, you release it, you let it go, and that's it. So
Mhm.
all I said was, it'll be great to have more books. This morning, my cousin stops by and he's like, "Oh, hey, here's some books. Why are they books that I could put in my classroom?" Didn't ask him for nothing. They just appeared at the door.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
you know, in the last segment, we talked about how we are open portals. I think
Mhm.
one of us said that
Mhm.
we just have this very close, being an open portal to divinity. I don't have to explain what that means,
Yes. Yeah.
but I'm like that because it was just very recently that I said that,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What?
Yeah. 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 Well,
Where these books come from?" All of a
yeah.
sudden,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a tool. If the next time, I mean, just see what happens. It's something, could be something very small, like when you are bleeding. Um, Write something down, say it out loud, and see what happens.
Hmm.
See how fast it comes or when it comes, because it will happen. So, but that's that. Like we said, we could go. There's so many avenues and so many different
Hmm.
areas that we could go into, because then we could start talking about sex magic and all that stuff. Like there's just so much so much that we could talk about when it comes to our blood and manifesting. But we want to continue on to our I got an herb for that segment where we highlight different herbs. We're going to pull a card from our Herbal Astrology Oracle by Adriana Ayalis. She owns the Apothecary Anima Mundi. Apothecary, you can visit a store of hers
She has it in, I think it's in Brooklyn, but it's in New York,
in
it's in
Brooklyn.
California, and
Yes,
in Costa Rica.
and
She got
Costa
three
Rica.
locations now.
Yes,
I want to go for the cafe. I want to try their drinks made in house
yes, me
because
too.
she sells the herbal powders.
Yes, yes.
So,
I mean, my house is full of her stuff, full of them, full of them.
mm,
Let's see. She specifically has a womb tea blend that I have been using for the last 4 years, probably now. It is a blend of red raspberry leaf, nettle, vitex, moringa, and I think that could be it. Yeah, I think so. It might be another herb in there, but I can't. I think that's all of them. Vitex, moringa, red raspberry, nettle, and I mean, I love it. Like that,
yeah,
literally soothes you. It's comforting, it's soothing, it does change your cycle, it does lessen the bleeding, it does lessen cramping. I virtually have no cramps.
good.
Now, when I bleed, I do have pain associated with my womb, though, right now, and it's not during bleeding, it's ovulation. I have
Mm,
issues with pain during ovulation right now for some reason, and I am working actively spiritually and physically to figure out what it is, why, and how to solve it. So y'all pray for me.
we will.
Pray for me. But I'll say I'm still shuffling. I'm trying to see card what card is going to come out.
I can't wait to see.
I
It's going to be
know.
aligned with the episode,
I'm like, I know
with our topic for today.
this is gonna be a good one. I gotta. Oh, I think this card wants to come out. Oh, tobacco
Okay.
offering. Tobacco. This one's a pretty. I love it. I mean, all the cards are pretty, but so this is how it looks. It's number 24. So let's see. It says upright power, ofrenda offering, divine gift, invocation, respect, deep alignment with will and purpose. It's ruled by Mars and Pluto, which we know what Pluto rules in the body. It's your womb. So it says the gods of power are here to serve and they demand loving respect. Tobacco reminds us to utilize power compassionately. How we use and direct this power determines the quality of life. Offer your actions as a divine gift, selflessly and in service to the sacred. Grandfather Tobacco's protective and powerful energy lovingly opens the doorway to the spirit world to those who ask with humility and respect. Don't allow the illusions of power to ignite destructive behaviors or propel you forward toward addictive habits. That was
Wow.
good.
Hmm.
I mean, we do know that tobacco is a sacred medicine that people use. Um, they have used it for thousands of years and they continue to use it. It was a gift. Somebody gifted me tobacco when I had baby Donnie as an
Mm.
altar offering, and I still have some and I do use it. I've been using it recently. Um,
I have tobacco seeds.
oh, you need to plant them.
I do. I I mean, I wasn't going to plant them where I was, so I got
Yeah.
them ready to plant.
Yeah, it says tobacco is considered a plant maestra, a master plant or a teacher.
Mm.
It was used for healing a wide range of ailments such as earaches, snake bites, cuts, burns, respiratory diseases, fever, convulsions, nervous issues, urinary complaints, skin diseases, and parasites.
Wow.
Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit given to humanity to enable communication with the spirit world. So this is a good medicine.
What stuck out to me is that it said that you are the divine gift.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one thing that we as women need to hold on to
Mm-hmm.
and hold ourselves is that no, look in the mirror
Mm-hmm.
and say, I am the divine gift
Mm-hmm.
so that we can have this communication. I just, you won't have the communication. And I'm talking to myself, talk to my younger self. You won't have that communication if you don't believe that you are the gift.
Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That leads us to our next segment, which is
Mhm.
witchy shit. We love this segment. This is literally one of my favorite segments just because we get to talk about, I mean, this whole podcast is witchy, but specifically this segment, we can talk about witchy things that we just learned about, that we currently are practicing, things that we know, historic things, or just topics that are just hilarious and funny because we are reclaiming that word. We are not to be demonized. We are to be celebrated and accepted as oracles, women healers, priestesses, shamans, all the motherfucking above. Okay, so for this segment, we wanted to talk about what advice or what would you say to your younger self on that day that you discovered you had your period?
Mm.
What would you say to her? You just shared it. What would you have anything else that you would say?
I mean, that's not even as a child. That's not what I would say to my child self. I would say
Uh-huh.
that to my self from a few years ago.
Mhm.
Believe you are
Mhm.
the gift because I didn't always not know that. I did know that I was the gift, but somehow I was reprogrammed and had that thought of, oh, I'm so lucky to have certain things, experiences, and, whatever. But um, To my younger self, on the day when I did get it, as funny as I thought it was and as crazy as I thought it was, I would give myself the rundown. I would say, "Hey, you think you hear God now? Just you in it. You are now the creator, creatress
Mhm.
with alongside, okay?
Mhm.
Now's the time to be I mean, more so I would probably say cuz I was very mystical as a child and I
Mhm.
loved um those mystical and mythical kind of things.
Mhm.
I would say now's your time. You've come of age. You've come of age, and now it's time for us to really get to work.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What spells are we going to cast? What what fun you are going to have now that your cycle has come.
Yeah.
You're going to rest, relax, take care of yourself, and be getting prepared for this new way of being.
Mhm. Mhm.
What would you have said?
That was good. I probably would say that too, but I wasn't as mystical, but my mystical side came years later. Um, so what I didn't say is how I first discovered I had my period. I was actually at my friend's house. I was at my best friend Ema's house. Shout
Hmm.
out to Ema. I don't know if she listens, but I was at my best friend at the time. I was at her house and we were playing and I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and I looked down at my underwear and it was just like it wasn't a little bit of blood.
Really?
It was like the I want to say from if my memory serves me, it was like a lot of discharge, like the dark
Hmm.
it was red too. So I immediately knew what it was. And
Mm.
I wanted to keep playing, so I just was like I just put some tissue in my underwear and I kept playing and I didn't say
Oh,
anything. And I went home and I took those underwear off and I was like I remember like oh my gosh, like it was like I knew it happened. I kept playing. I got home and I didn't remember until it happened until I had to use the bathroom again at home. I was like, "Oh crap." And so I immediately thought that I was going to get in trouble because I didn't say anything. So I just hid the underwear.
oh
I hid
man.
the underwear somewhere. Like I don't know, I can't remember if it
Hmm.
was in the bathroom or in my closet, but it wasn't until weeks later that I think I don't even know how many maybe the next time I got my period, that's when I actually told my mom. When went to the
What?
bathroom and saw a little bit of blood again, and I was just like, now I really have to tell her because I don't know what
Oh
to
my
do.
gosh. Oh
So
my
that's
goodness.
when I told my mom. I know.
So,
I know. I was like, so it's so crazy. Like, why would you not say? I don't even know. But so I think that has something to do with me saying that I wouldn't talk about it. Like, I just had a lot of shame around it for
mm,
some reason. Like, I just wanted to hide it, or I didn't want to seem like something was wrong with me, or I didn't want to seem like I had something. Like, I just wanted to be normal. For some reason, just thinking that my period I wasn't normal. So
mm,
I would tell Alyssa, this is not shameful. Do not hide this.
mhm,
You are going to slowly discover the power that you hold. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be open. Speak openly about this.
mm,
And yeah, just to speak openly. Don't feel shame. Don't feel shame around it. And I don't think that has anything to do with what my current life looked like at the time. I think that that was very much ancestral. That was coming. The shame with that was ancestral. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, knowing you inherited quite a bit, quite a bit
Yes.
of stuff.
Yes.
So, and
Yes.
I'm glad that you're doing the work for, that type of inheritance. I can say, I don't know if it has anything to do with being a Taurus, to do with you being a Taurus, because I can say that I see that with my mom, and I know why she didn't speak about things with me, why she actually had a difficult time. I could sense as a child she's having a hard time addressing this. She doesn't know what to say.
Mhm.
And so I always would forgive her for that, but I didn't understand why.
Mhm.
And so now, like, even as I went back and thought about her knowing, hey, you got your period, I saw the look on her face, like in my mind. And I'm like, which is why I had to come to me just now as my younger self and say, hey, this is great, a great time. We're going to have some fun, because the look on my mom's face kind of scared me to where I was
Mm.
like, what does this mean?
Mhm.
And she just tells me, here are your pads,
Yeah.
Um, but it makes me wonder. Um, I will say this that even though you have come and you have inherited different things ancestrally, um, don't worry about your daughter carrying those things.
Mhm.
That just because you have that, just because you are working on that, does not mean that it's going to touch her at all.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, and you're
Thank
already
you.
doing the work. So,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for and I accept that and I know that. I've had dreams confirming that.
good.
And I think you're right because if I'm not mistaken, medical astrology, Taurus does rule the throat
Mm,
chakra. And so if it's out of balance, then that means that it's suppressed. I mean,
hmm
I've already told you the work that I've had to do on my throat chakra to be able to express and
hmm
even be on here talking. So, um, but as a Taurus, I have been told when I'm not so congested that my voice is very soothing and, just the sound of my voice. And so I feel like that has something to do with it. It's just speaking openly and
Yeah,
not, holding stuff back does have to do with being a Taurus. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my mom's probably watching, but yes, I know she's working on that.
Yes. Miss Donna, my
She-
fellow Taurus. You know what? You're not my only friend whose mom is a Taurus too. It's so
oh
funny.
yeah,
Yeah. Jasmine's mom, whose our mom's name is Miss Donna.
that's crazy.
I know. Her mom's name is Donna too, and she's a Taurus too. So both of
Wow,
y'all, your moms have birthdays like really close to mine. It's so funny.
that's crazy.
I know. It is.
Wow. Well, this was a fabulous episode. I loved this conversation, and I could go on even more because I feel like there's still so much
Mhm.
that we didn't touch on, so
Yeah.
many other details that we could provide.
Yeah. 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 I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure we'll have to do a follow up and I am going to ask Sylvia. Sylvia, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're invited. But I was thinking we're gonna have to have a conversation about what we want her to come on. But it's gonna be related to this when we have
hmm
her on because this is her specialty.
hmm
So yes, we will have more in depth conversations about this. So tune in.
Yes.
Yes. Look what other card just came out. Um, this one, Nettle too.
Nettle.
Nettle.
Nice.
Look at the snake and look how red it is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this
That's
was.
so
I never.
interesting.
Have you read the Nettle?
No.
Let me read it real quick. Something's just telling me to just read this real quick.
I mean, it has a snake on it.
I know, and it's red.
hmm And it's red, right? That part too.
Okay. Fierce protector, direct action, leadership, strength, power in pursuit of truth and dominance. Okay, so it is. Hmm. Warrior Mars is a representation of our will to survive, protect, pursue, and act. Physically, the elemental fire within Nettle activates to purify and strengthen. Emotionally and mentally, it directs ambition, sharpens intellect, and ignites leadership. On a spiritual level, Nettle has the power of snake medicine, granting us the power of the fire to transmute and protect. Nettle medicine teaches you on a personal level to be strong, protective, and able to handle life in its complexity. You meet difficulties with patience and confidence. This allows for emotional maturity and avoids frustration. Don't withdraw your energy in the face of discomfort. If you have drawn this card today, there is a need within you to transmute some action, thought, and desire. Release the outer skin of your present identity and draw upon the powers of fire to lead and act. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was good.
Wow. I mean, that is Year of the Fire Horse.
Hmm.
Draw upon the power. What did it say? Draw upon the power of fire
Yes. Yes.
to
Draw upon
lead
the
and
fire.
to act. Ooh, that's
Yes.
nettle. Nettle goes really well with ginger to me.
Hmm.
Ginger is that fire.
Hmm.
Um, that's good.
Yeah. It's also an herb of Mars and Pluto. So
Hmm. So you said Pluto is associated with the womb.
yes.
So,
Yes. Well, this gives you, it's rich in nutrients. So um it's rich in iron, which you need, selenium, magnesium, chlorophyll, calcium, silica, and vitamins K, A, C, and E.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's good.
Hmm. The Egyptians used it to treat arthritis, rheumatism, lethargy, and cholera. And it alleviates pain, inflammation. It releases yes, it's a natural antihistamine. So it's used. I've seen it so many times in allergy herbal medicine.
Hmm.
So yeah, okay, I'll wrap it up. I'm just you know continuing on. This is a long episode. We might need to
That's
cut
good.
that part
Yeah.
out.
I mean, long but worth it. Worth it. I'd
Yes,
like to add that I love the fact that you had the snake, or you had the petting zoo at the birthday party, and had the snake there.
it was a red
So
one too.
was it? I don't even remember.
It was red.
Yeah. Okay. I held the snake, y'all. I held the snake, and I was very surprised at the way that it moved, because I thought that it moved a little more, um, smoother, but it was very hard. Like, I'm trying to move it, and it's like, no, I'm going in this direction,
Hmm.
and the muscles, it was very much like tense muscles. And so I had to end up working with it in flow. And I don't know if you noticed that I was carrying it like a baby, because it
No.
just rested its head on
Mm-mm.
it rested its head on me, where like a baby would have their head, and like, where your forearm meets your bicep.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware.
It was so cute. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm at one with the snake, at one with my Kundalini.
Girl, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. But that was no. I'm not about to hold no snake. Mm-mm.
I love snakes. So get some nettle. I need more. I need to order some more nettle. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But yes, you can go ahead get a snake. I did not know that snake was coming to my house because I would have probably said no if I would
Oh
have known that.
wow,
I would have
you
told her to
didn't
leave that
know.
animal at home. We don't need no snakes up in here.
Well, I'm grateful that it was there. We were just talking about I was just reminiscing about the first time I held a snake, and there goes the snake. Should have
Mm-mm.
saved that for the I said what I said segment.
Oh no, that's not no good manifestation. Yeah.
Manifest
But
the snake.
yes, thank you guys for listening. Send us messages about what you guys want us to talk about or manifestations at keepexpectingmiracles at gmail.com. You can message us on Instagram. Follow us. Keep Expecting Miracles Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Keep Expecting Miracles. We make video if you listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We do have a video component and it is on YouTube. So we get beautiful for everybody. But yeah, thank you guys for listening and until next time.
Yes, bye.
Bye bye.